Former UFC light heavyweight champion Alex Pereira, he'll be having his rematch against Magomed Ankalaev. What do you think that he needs to do to win that title back?
I think the fight will be mostly the same, but I think Alex could pressure a little bit more because now Alex knows that he can defend the takedown. He can risk to find that knockout, and I think the fight will be better for him.
Pereira shocked fans when he stepped on the scale at a staggering 234 pounds, just 2 weeks before his UFC 320 title rematch with Ankalaev. That means he'll need to cut nearly 30 pounds in less than 14 days, a brutal process even for someone known for massive weight drops. The sight of Pereira weighing 106.22 kilos left social media stunned. Some fans were amazed, others concerned, and some critics argued that such extreme cuts shouldn't be allowed in modern MMA. But Pereira has built his career on these grueling transformations, and many believe he'll still make 205 pounds on fight week.
You sometimes feel that you're really gonna die. I wasn't able to sleep in 48 hours because I was so dehydrated. My body was so skinny, and I was dreaming with water, with food, with everything. My social media, everything was about the food. At that moment, you don't give a f about anything material.
This fight is one of the biggest of his career. He headlines UFC 320 in Las Vegas against the man who took his light heavyweight crown earlier this year. Pereira has already held titles in both middleweight and light heavyweight, proving his ability to climb divisions while keeping his dangerous striking style. But now the challenge is twofold: surviving the 30-pound cut and flipping the result from their first encounter.
Back to Magomed, when you see the footage of him going home with the belt that was yours, and all the hoopla and stuff, how does that make you feel?
People say that he won, people say that he lost, people say that I win, very contested, right? Why didn't give it a draw and I left to the belt?
So you are very motivated to get the belt back.
Absolutely. I can't wait for this moment to happen again, and it's going to be a very different fight. That day was not the same Alex Pereira, so if come the regular Alex Pereira, it's already more than that. But imagine now if it's different. It doesn't have to be a knockout, but I feel that I have enough game to do whatever I want with this guy.
Their first fight ended with Ankalaev winning by unanimous decision at UFC 313. Pereira surprised many with his improved wrestling defense, but Ankalaev's steady pressure and control earned him the nod. Pereira admitted he made mistakes and insists he's corrected them. This rematch isn't just about reclaiming gold, it's about proving he can outsmart the man who exposed his weaknesses.
Ankalaev is just so good. I think a couple things. I think Alex has a great chance of beating him in the rematch. I think Alex goes too hard. I mean, how many title defenses did he have? Going up and down weight classes. Where Ankalaev rides the bench for a certain amount of time. Being that active and none of that being a superstar. No one knows who Ankalaev is. Ankalaev walks down the street, no one knows who that guy is. Alex is a superstar. He can't leave his house without someone saying, "Oh, there's Alex, should we take a picture?" It kind of takes a toll on the mind. Where, you take Ankalaev, who just lives in a fucking cave somewhere. I don't know where that guy's from, but dude, he probably lives in a fucking cave somewhere, and just, he doesn't have to deal with the same pressures of being famous as you do in the U.S. So I think Alex, if he just takes a step back, clears his brain, comes in fresh, stop traveling all over the fucking world, I think he has a legitimate shot of beating him.
After arriving in Vegas, Pereira again posted his weight, 234.1 pounds. Despite the concerns, he has never missed weight in his career, even as a middleweight cutting to 185 pounds. Fans are used to holding their breath until the official weigh-in. Pereira himself doesn't view it as difficult, saying, "I don't think of it as hard. I can skate, I can walk. I don't feel like I'm suffering."
It's hard because it's funny. I don't think of it as difficult because I can skate better than I can walk. So I don't think you're you can slippery up there.
Some analysts believe Pereira has a great chance. Others point to his hectic schedule and fame as a factor, saying Ankalaev lives in peace and doesn't face the same pressures. If Alex clears his mind and focuses, he could win. When asked about watching Ankalaev celebrate with the belt that was once his, Pereira said, "People say he won. People say I won. Very contested, right? Why not give it a draw?" Absolutely, I'm motivated to get the belt back. That day was not the same Alex Pereira. I'm already better than that version, and now I feel I have the game to do whatever I want with this guy. Doesn't have to be a knockout.
Will you come out and support and watch and be into the fight 2 more times? Because if Pereira wins, that's the only honorable thing to do. Right? You gotta settle the score. Pereira knows this better than anybody. So, what do you do in that case? I mean, if Pereira wins, and we gotta go back to 𝐞𝐞. If Pereira wins and we're not gonna go with 𝐞𝐞, anybody in that top stratosphere, Pereira's already beat. And with a loss, the answer for Pereira will be very clear. And it will be what he's wanted all along.
Arman Tsarukyan wasn't surprised by Pereira's first loss and expects a repeat. He highlighted Ankalaev's sharp striking and dangerous left hand, plus the leg kicks that troubled Pereira before. He predicts Ankalaev will win again, though the rematch could go longer.
What do you think of the main event, Magomed Ankalaev beating Alex Pereira?
I know that Ankalaev gonna beat him if it's not lucky punch. We know like Pereira, he's so dangerous. He has a good left hook and kicks, leg kicks. But first round he started with leg kicks, and I was scared like again they're gonna like kill his legs, and then he gotta change his stand. But then he could change his game. He started to go forward, and he won last I think 4 rounds.
So you scored it for Magomed.
3-2. 5 was like even 50-50, you know, you never know.
Andrew Tate, who once nearly fought Pereira years ago, praised his maturity and resilience, saying he always learns from setbacks. He believes Pereira will return better than ever. Michael Bisping acknowledged Ankalaev's skills, but stressed that Pereira must press forward this time. Another loss, Bisping warned, could even push him out of the UFC, with Pereira already teasing karate combat or boxing. Still, a win could line him up for a blockbuster with Tom Aspinall.
Last thing, I saw you and your brother in Vegas over the weekend. Do you have any words for Pereira? He took a loss, like any maybe words of encouragement?
Pereira's an OG. Pereira fought Sahak Papayan, and I was supposed to fight Pereira a long time ago, but he ended up fighting Sahak instead back in the It's Showtime days. So him and I have been fighting way back when. So he's been around. He knows the game. Yeah. He understands you win some, you lose some. You either use it to come back stronger and better and learn something, or you use it to destroy you. It's like everything in life, right? So I think he already knows exactly what to do. The world loves him. He knows that.
You think he'll win the rematch?
I think he'll be back. Yeah, the world loves him. He's a loved guy.
The odds still favor Ankalaev, but some see the line as closer than expected. Even so, Pereira only won the first round in their first fight before losing the next 4. Sonnen pointed out that Ankalaev himself pushed for the rematch, perhaps because fans doubted the first result. Carlos Prates expressed full belief in Pereira, saying he has corrected his mistakes and will go for the finish.
Right, I've been there. I know what it feels like. And yes, Magomed, even though he's from Dagestan, isn't a Khabib-level wrestler, or is that Makhachev or something like that. But he does have wrestling in his back pocket. He beat him at his own game. But Pereira is under a lot of pressure here. He's got to come out. He's got to be aggressive. He's got to go forward. If he's going to get that belt back and get some pride back, he's got to win this fight. Because if he doesn't, this might be the last time we see him fight in the UFC. We saw him have a bit of a meltdown on Twitter recently when something didn't go his way. I forget the exact tweet, what it was, but you know what I'm talking about if you follow the sport. And now he's talking about potentially fighting for karate combat. He's talking about potentially boxing. He's made an absolute fortune. He's left his mark on the sport. But if he beats Magomed Ankalaev, then of course, you know, forget about all those conversations. He's going to be staying in the UFC, and he'll probably fancy his chances against Tom Aspinall at some point.
Daniel Cormier echoed that Pereira must take the initiative. In the first fight, he defended takedowns well, but got controlled against the cage. This time, he has to set the tone early and make Ankalaev respect his power right away. Fans agreed. His downfall wasn't the wrestling defense, but failing to seize momentum.
I think, as you said, it didn't feel like there was going to be much of a difference. But what did feel different was Alex wrestled much better than we expected him to. He defended takedowns much better than we expected him to. He was not ground to the ground. Now it's up to him, Plinio and Glover, and we have seen him come up with game plans before to make it to where Alex can actually go get it done and not get pressed against the Octagon. That's where the difference has to happen, Chill. He wasn't taken down, but he was controlled. So he was controlled in the clinch last time. He was backed up the entire time. How does he move forward without Ankalaev actually pressing into him? I think he needs to get some respect from him very early, Chill, to make Ankalaev take a few steps back. Because right now, Ankalaev has been in there with him, and he'll have more confidence that he can handle the power of Pereira than he did going into fight one. The unknown is the scariest thing in fighting. Man, everybody this guy hits, he puts down or he bludgeons them. Now he knows he went 25 minutes and that didn't happen to him. And this guy's been golden for us in regards to stepping up and fighting. But he's plus 150 against Ankalaev, and Ankalaev's minus 180. Chill, I got a question. Are you surprised at the line being that close? Because what we saw in the first fight, it didn't seem like Alex had much for him in regards to answers for stopping Ankalaev from pressing him up against the Octagon.
It was a hard fight, and I will tell you that Alex won the first round. That's according to the judges, not just according to me. And then he proceeded to lose the next four. Listen, when that contest was over, I didn't think that any reasonable analysis could come to the conclusion that if they did it again, we would get a different outcome. There was also a little bit of a resistance by the fight. This was billed a little bit differently. It seemed like the UFC was on board, but it was Ankalaev that was going and picking the fight with Alex. It was Ankalaev that was challenging him, calling him out. And I only wonder, generally when a fighter will do that when he's the champion, when the champion starts calling somebody out, particularly a guy that he just beat, it's because his own social media, his own world, the bubble that he lives in, people are disputing it. People are telling, hey, you couldn't do it again. Hey, Alex was hurt. Hey, he fought 4 times in 9 months. Try doing it again. Something like that must have happened to Ankalaev. So I think that the audience perhaps saw it a little bit different than I did. But a lot of times I learned something from the audience. So I'm very open to this idea. But Daniel, how are we going to get Pereira to heavyweight? That's my question. And when he moved up to 205, people kind of misremember this. They think he ran through 85 so much we'll let him go. But that's actually wrong. He lost. He lost is the reason that he was able to move up. And I only share with you, if he loses to Ankalaev, I believe he will be a heavyweight. But I just believe that's the spot we're in right now. He just lost to Ankalaev. He doesn't have a...
All eyes are on the scale and the cage. Once again, Pereira is set to defy expectations, make the weight, and step into the octagon ready for war.
I think Pereira gonna win. You know, he got a break on his career. You know, he saw all his mistakes, you know, and fix everything. And now I think he gonna step on the cage and gonna knock Ankalaev